Today was the pits for me. Like, yo, I'm done. Okay, I want to be done. I cannot wait to be done. It's Monday, 15th of February. Tomorrow starts the 7-month mark. So basically I'm on my last day of my second trimester, and today I just couldn't. I went. So this is how we are looking. 26 weeks side profile. Look at this. 32 weeks. And my hands keep swelling like every time I sleep. When I wake up, they're swollen. I can't even make a fist like this. It's already tight. But wow. Gee. Exercise. To the stop sign. To the shop. And back. Operation push baby out. I'm taking a beautiful stroll in the neighborhood. I'm saying hi to my neighbors. What's up? Yes, Mr. Tobias, how are you? Mr. Tobias, such a lovely man, you know. Always so happy and jolly. Wow, this is the longest walk. Long walk to freedom. Guys, and welcome back to It's Pero. I am bringing you a story time today, my very first story time, and it's about my labor and delivery. It is cringy, so you will want to stay tuned. And yeah, initially I wanted to vlog the whole experience and then upload it for you guys to see, but things got so hectic I forgot. Okay, so let's get right into it. I have my notes here, so if you see me looking down, I apologize. All right, I planned to have natural labor because I just wanted to go through everything to see how it feels like, how intense it gets, and my doctor was on board. We went to all our appointments, everything was fine. Went on maternity leave on the 23rd of April, and I was at home waiting for 3 weeks for this guy to come. Guys, 3 weeks. The first week was cool, you know, I'm chilling, I'm eating, I'm sleeping, no waking up to go to work. It was all grand. And then the second week I was like, okay, you can come out now. When is this child coming? By the third week, guys, I was done. I was tired, so I started doing everything to try to induce my labor naturally. Okay, so I actually tried to do everything from the beginning, and I was doing things here and there throughout, but the last week I was very, very intentional about it. I went jogging the lies to try to induce my labor naturally. I was drinking raspberry tea that my friend sent me. Pineapple, my one friend got me pineapples because I couldn't find pineapples anywhere, and I was on YouTube, you know, watching these labor inducing exercises that I was supposed to do. That I was doing, but nothing helped. And yeah, I did have sex, nothing was helping. So that last week of me being at home, my boyfriend's like, my mom said go to the doctor, call the doctor and ask him what's up, and I'm just there like, there's still time, man, just leave. 2 days after that, he's like, no, my sister said go to the doctor. I skipped. Friday the 14th, he was like, did you go to the doctor? I said, no, I didn't go. Saturday the 15th, you know when you're like in trouble, he called his tones, you know, where you don't stand a chance. He called, he said, I'm gonna give you 1 hour, be at the doctor, call me. So I'm like, fine. I called the doctor. He's like, is the baby here? I said, that's the problem, this child is not coming. So he's like, okay, come and see me at 12 o'clock. Okay, cool. I went in at 12. He checked everything, you know, blood pressure, weight, blah blah blah, and then he says to me, we're gonna induce you tomorrow. Tomorrow. I know I wanted that child to come, but I was just not ready. And he called the hospital to prep a bed. He gave me the documents that I would need to take birth, and he's like, okay, be there at 5:30 so that you can be induced at 6. I'm like, okay, how long does it take, do you think, before I have the child after that? He's like, no, maybe even this time tomorrow you could be holding your baby in your arms. So I'm like, okay, cool. I left his office. I went to Spar to go stock up on my snacks. I don't know how many times I stocked up on those snacks, guys, because I was at home for, like I said, 3 weeks, and every time I'd go in my bag and eat. So yeah, I went to Spar, got those snacks, went back home. I cleaned up, I packed up, although like I had been ready. It's just that I wanted to make sure everything was packed and neat for the final time, because when I was gonna come out of hospital, I wasn't gonna go to my place. I was gonna go to my sister and her husband's place, where I'd spend the rest of my maternity leave. Cool. So that night I didn't sleep. I was so nervous, I was anxious, so much was going on in my mind, and I just wanted everything to go smooth. My plans of having, you know, my water breaking, they didn't work out. So I stayed up all night and I was watching YouTube videos of these women having their babies naturally. It didn't help, and it just made everything worse. So at 4:30, I think 4:30 a.m. on Sunday the 16th, I got up, took a shower. Around 5:30, I called my sister and her husband to come and get us so that we can go to the hospital. But we got there past 6, and remember we were supposed to be there at 5:30 so I can be induced at 6, but then we got there past 6. So, and the nurses, they were changing shifts and stuff, so they just booked me in, took me to my room, and we filled in some documents. And very important, one of the documents that I filled in was, you know, in case of an emergency, are they allowed to perform a C-section? I must give my consent on that, and I said yes. And yeah, reason being, if you find yourself in such a situation where you need to have an emergency C-section performed on you, you don't want to be there filling documents in. So that we got out the way, and then they bought me breakfast. You know, I'm in my room, it's good, TV is there, the nurses are friendly, they're coming in and out, I'm being checked up, and let me say around about 10 or 9 they came and they induced me. So with the induction, what they did was, where can I find something? If you hear a baby making noise, he's even crawling to me, that's why I keep looking down. She leave me alone. Okay, so what they do is, can you see, they take a pill there, it's a very small pill, and then they cut it in quarters, and then she takes 1/4 and then she puts it between her fingers like this, and I must lie on my back, open my legs, and then she pushes it up to go into the cervix. Now guys, that was a very invasive, painful procedure. Why? The cervix was not opening. She couldn't find the opening to that cervix, and it was so sore. And then she came out, it felt like, you know, she went in all the way here. I don't know how deep she went, but I felt like her whole arm went in. Then she came out, and then she's like, no, she has to go in again, and she's losing control of the pill. So she put it back into her fingers, and then she chucked it up, dropped it in there. I guess she finally found the opening, but she said it was so hard to find it, and it was shut tight. So yeah, and then she left. Afterwards, you know, now I'm waiting for something to happen. Nothing is happening. I fell asleep. The only way to silence him is to put him on the boob. This is not the place for the time. Okay, so she came in at 1, and I was not dilated, like I said. So she gave me now another quarter of that pill, so I had to lie on my back once again, and she dropped it in. They come in and they monitor the baby's heartbeat and your blood pressure and everything a whole long, it's not really long, but it happens quite often. So yeah, she came in and she did that and she left. I said, okay, cool, maybe something will start happening because I am tired of waiting. Okay, so after that, the contractions did start kicking in, guys. I started becoming uncomfortable. I started feeling pain that was worse than my period pain. So I knew, like, okay, here we are at the point of no return. This child is on the way, this child is coming. But once again, I was not dilating, so she offered to give me a membrane sweep, and I said, okay, cool, no problem, anything to help, you know, make the process go faster. So what a membrane sweep is, I said, okay, cool. Anything to make the process go faster. She gave me that membrane sweep. Yeah, nothing happened still. And around, that was like maybe around 3. So my doctor came in just to see how far the process is and to just give a report and to see how far I was dilated. Guys, 0 dilation. After some time, she came in and she offered to give me a membrane sweep. So I said, okay, cool, because I was willing to do anything at that point to speed up the process, and the pain was so much. After she gave me the membrane sweep, I asked her for some painkillers, and she's like, okay, no, it's fine, I'll get you the painkillers. Can I tell you, this lady disappeared for about 30 minutes. So I'm there asking anybody else who comes, go get the midwife. Her name is what, I haven't forgot her name. Please, she promised to give me painkillers. And then she came, somebody went to go get her, and I told her, no, the painkillers. She's like, oh, yeah, no, it's fine, I will get them. Hannah, come, it was just a jigger, because next time she came back with my doctor, and he wanted to see how far I was, he wanted to see the progress, but I was in so much pain. Then I'm asking for the painkillers, and he explained that he can't give me the painkillers at that point because I was induced, and the point of, being induced is to basically make you go into labor, and the painkillers will work against that. So I was like, fine. He's speaking to my boyfriend. I'm in my own world. I'm in my pains, child. And when he left, my boyfriend was like, oh, you are 2 centimeters dilated. I was so mad. When he told me that, because 2 centimeters, I wanted to hear like 5 or 6. You are telling me 2. So the nurse was there. She's like, no, ma'am, we can run you a bath. Maybe, you can hop in there for some time, and it will help you with the pain. So the midwife comes, and while the doctor is on his way, she offers me an enema, which is like warm oil that they put up your bum so that you can release all the feces, and it can help with the progression of your labor, basically. So of course I took it. I was willing to take anything, and I lay on my side. She did what she had to do, and immediately I got up. I went to the bathroom, I emptied my backside. I came back and I laid in bed, and then I heard poof, something popped. I was like, what's going on? And it felt like liquid just running out of me. It didn't stop, and then it clicked. My water broke. I was so happy, but it broke at the wrong time. That's what I was supposed to break 3 weeks earlier. But anyways, I was happy, and then I tell the nurse who was there, like, I think my water broke. She looks at me like, are you sure? I said, come have a look. And she looked and she confirmed, yes, your water did break. But you know what came with that water breaking? Pain on 1,000. Pain like I've never felt before. I thought the other pain was extreme. This pain was too much, guys. It was too much. Yo. I even started crying. I started crying because I was like, what the hell is going on? And I'm telling the people, this is not fair. This is unfair. And I really felt like it was unfair, because that pain needs to be divided amongst 10 people. It's too much for just one person to handle. So then the doctor comes in, and he sees how far I'm dilated. He's like, oh, you're doing so well. Actually, you are at 6 centimeters now. And he tells me, no, at 8 centimeters, we are going to take you to theater. I'm like, okay, how long will it take to get to 8 centimeters? He said it could take about 2 hours. 2 hours. You guys, I cried again. I was like, there's no way. Then I'm asking for a C-section. He's telling me, no, you're doing so good, everything is fine. And then from there, I don't know, I went in my own world. He's there talking to my boyfriend. Somebody brings him some papers, and he's like, they're talking. See, next thing he turns to me and is like, we are gonna have to perform an emergency C-section. I'm like, what and why? And yes, but why? Because emergency C-section, you only do that if something is wrong. So I knew something was not right, and he's telling me, no, the baby's heart rate is dropping. I was excited and happy to hear that I was getting a C-section, and in the same breath I was a bit worried, because when you are going to be operated on and it is not the plan, something is very serious. I can see you. Anyways, so yes, at this point they bought me an oxygen tank just so that I can use it every time a contraction came, so I can inhale, and it assisted with getting oxygen to the baby because, like I said, he was in distress. Now we know it's a boy. He was in distress, so he needed all the oxygen that he would get. And my doctor started calling around, calling his colleagues, pediatrician, calling an anesthesiologist. This boy, just hold on. He started calling to see who is available, who can come and assist at that time. And I felt like they were taking forever to come here. I kept asking him, where are they? What time are they coming? I even asked where they lived, called them to see if they are close by. I was asking, are they even on their way? And he assured me that everything is fine, the people are coming, and eventually they came. Now, since I had planned for a natural birth, the girl was already clean down there, right? So they came with a razor. A nurse came with a razor to try and shave, because you need to be clean if they are going to cut you. And we didn't have to use that. They took off my earrings except the nose ring, because I told them the nose ring doesn't come off because I was just fed up at that point. I had to take off my gown, and as my gown was coming off, my drip came out, and it was not supposed to happen because the drip is supposed to be in before you go into theater. And they were like, okay, fine guys, we are ready, let's go. And they wheeled me down the passage. I felt like there were so many people around me. I was screaming, my legs were in the air, I wanted to get out the bed. We got into theater and they started, they had prepped everything already. And the anesthesiologist, he gave me 2 injections. One was to take the pain away, and now the second one was to numb me. So when they inject you in your back, in your spine, you have to arch like this. So I remember I was still in pain at this point, right? And I held my doctor like this. I put my head on his chest and then I arched. Let me tell you about the moment my strength was tested, you guys. You have to arch, you have to make a C, and he injects you in your spine and you are told not to move. Now in that moment of him injecting me, I got a contraction. I cannot move, I cannot scream like I've been doing. So guess what I did? I took myself to my happy place, and my happy place is the beach, guys. I love the beach. I pictured myself there in a bikini, looking into the ocean with my margarita next to me, and I just inhaled and exhaled until he said he was done. And then of course the screaming continued. Shortly after that, they moved me onto the operating bed, and they scraped my foot to see if I can feel something, and I felt something. They were like, are you sure? I'm like, yes, I'm sure. I can feel something. Sorry guys. Then I'm like, yeah, I can feel something. I don't know what they did, and then the pain it vanished, it went away. Like I felt it leave my body, and I just relaxed, and they started with the procedure. Then my boyfriend came, we were talking our own stories, and then I just hear, it's a boy, and where I was like, huh, already? That was fast. It felt like it was fast, guys. And just like that, at 17:45, my baby boy was born, and he was so chubby, and he had big juicy lips. They brought him to me, and the pediatrician, she was like, oh, kiss your baby. And then I kissed him, but he kept putting his fingers in my nostril. I was like, what's wrong with this kid? And let me tell you guys, it was not love at first sight. Many moms, they experience getting their baby, and it's like, oh my gosh, I'm so in love. I didn't go through that. Like, I knew this was my flesh and blood. I knew I cared for this child, and I've been loving this kid, but the instant connection was not there. It wasn't there, and it's perfectly fine. Shishi, you choose this hour to while. Anyways, so then they took the baby away just to go see if everything is fine. Yeah, they went to go check if everything is fine, if his organs are functioning okay. And during that period, they started cleaning me up, started sewing me up, and then they brought the baby back. We took pictures, videos, we recorded stuff, and then they took him away again, and my boyfriend followed. And then shortly after that, the doctor said we are done. Guys, I'm telling you, I know it took some time for all of this to happen, but since I was drugged, it felt like everything happened so fast. And after that, they moved me to a bed, and then they pushed me into a little room that is close to the theater, just to monitor you for 30 minutes to see if everything is okay. And during that point, my doctor hadn't left. I could see him through the door. He was like talking to the nurses. And after 30 minutes, then he came back and he said, no, everything is okay, you did well, and I'll come back. Shishi, you are killing my vibe, bro. Oh, independence and you know, ne? Yes, so he came back and he said, I'll see you tomorrow morning. And I'm like, okay, cool, thank you very much, doctor. He left, and I was taken to my room now, where they were, you know, we were breastfeeding the child. And why I'm saying we is because this baby did not latch. For the 3 days we were in hospital, we had to stay an extra day to make it 4, only because he was not latching. He was not eating. Every time a nurse came in, they would literally take my nipple and like put it in his mouth. His mouth was just shut tight. It was such a struggle to get this kid to eat, I tell you. And they would like wiggle here by his jaws to open. In the end, hey, on the 3rd day, the 2nd or the 3rd day, I had to call my sister to organize so that my breast pump can be bought. So tip for all your mommies, and this was my cousin Nerago's idea. Shishi, I cannot believe you right now. You were quiet the whole time. Yo. Okay, this was my cousin Nerago's idea when she went shopping with me. She was like, no, take a breast pump, you just never know. And it's true, you just never know, because in that moment I needed one. And when I had to express and feed him with the cup and not the bottle, because if you gave him the bottle, he would get too used to it in that moment. So yes guys, we fed him, and next thing my boyfriend is saying, okay, it's past 12, I have to go home now. I'm like, it's past 12. I thought everything happened like within an hour or 2, guys, but like I said, 6 o'clock the doctor came. This child was born at 7:45, and then all of a sudden it's 12 p.m. and my boyfriend needs to go home. So everything that happened during that period, the other things that I didn't mention, is because I don't remember what happened. So that's it, guys. That's the end of my labor and delivery story. My doctor was amazing, him and his team. I was never concerned that he didn't know what he was doing. I didn't doubt him for 1 second. The only thing I was really concerned about, you know, days leading to me delivering, was that my baby would be kidnapped, because you know, you hear those stories of a child being stolen from the maternity ward. But I was very, very excited to find out that at Rhino Park, where I did give birth, they encourage mothers to not sleep with their babies and to stay with their babies the whole time, just so that it promotes breastfeeding. And yes, I remember being in hospital, and I texted my boyfriend. I said, you know, when I leave here, I want to become a pediatric nurse. And I only say that because of the service that I received there. It was so amazing. To my mom, my sister, and her husband, they all assisted me during my maternity leave. And guys, it is crucial to have a strong support system. I could not have done it. I could not have adjusted into this new role without them. And I can say I understand how new moms can go into postpartum depression if they do not have the right help by their side. So yes, thank you very much. And also choose somebody that is gonna be with you emotionally and attend to all your physical needs while you are in labor at the hospital. And my boyfriend did such an amazing job with that. Guys, if you have watched this video till this point, please subscribe if you haven't already done so. If you have any questions, drop it in the comment section below. If you have any content that you want me to put out there, also drop it in the comment section below. Ring that notification bell so you can be notified every time I upload a new video, and like this and share this. And guess what, I'm so happy to have put this video out there, because throughout the journey of my pregnancy, I used to look for labor and delivery videos. South Africa has a few which I watched. Everything that's closer to home feels relatable. So in SA, I watched quite a few, and there are many from overseas. In Namibia, there was just like, I couldn't find, maybe five, I'm even stretching it. I couldn't find many labor and delivery stories. So I am adding one more to our pool, and I hope you guys really enjoyed this. Thank you very much, and I will see you in the next video.